what's up everybody? Welcome to a brand new Crimson Angel era. Now in this video I'm planning on showing you all the equipment I use and tell you other ways that I get ready to do an investigation or do anything spiritual at all. Now what I do on this channel is a little bit more unorthodox than what most people do. I tend to ask all sorts of questions like, you know, about the Illuminati, about the government, about what it's really like over there, about if they, you know, all that kind of stuff, conspiracy stuff. I do all the regular stuff too. Don't worry, you know, about, you know, asking about what if they could see us, if they can move this, if they can tell what year they're in and all that, whatever. And so what I'm planning on doing is I'm going to show you all what equipment I use and I'm going to explain to you all about how I use it. So, spirit boxes. What are they and how are they used? Well, in layman's terms, just a radio. And a little bit more, better explanation. Sorry, I've not been on camera for ages. I'm getting tongue-tied. You might forgive that. But yeah, so what does it do? Well, it's a hacked radio. So what the idea behind this thing is it scans really, really fast at a very, very rapid rate through all different radio stations. And we believe that spirits can use this, use the sounds and the static noises to form their own words in order to say something to us, to communicate back with us. Now, how can we prove that it works? Well, we get intelligent responses like our names, and the biggest one that isn't very nice, but we look out for the most, is usually swearing. Because no one swears on the radio. No one. Not in this country anyway, in England, if you didn't know where I was. So nobody swears in this country on the radio. So it scans really quickly, spirits can use the static, spirits can use the voices, and also there's no way, if we get a full sentence through, that it can be just someone talking on a station, because it's scanning through so fast that you only pick up little fragments of what they've just said, like you know, at the start of whatever's being broadcast or the song. So there's no way that with the intelligence responses we get on a spirit box, that isn't something paranormal. Now, will I tell you it's definitely a ghost or a demon or an angel? Well, maybe I would. But a lot of people with more scientific brains than me, rather than just believing and knowing, I know. I don't just believe, I know. Sorry guys, I'm not a skeptic in the least. I've seen things, I've felt things. That's just the way I roll. And they would tell you that aren't of the same mind as me. But basically, you know, it is just an intelligent response. You know, if it's an intelligent response, it's some weird phenomena. They can't tell you if it's a ghost or a spirit because we can't see them. We can only go by what they say they are. And I believe, or know, that they are a ghost or a spirit anyway. Because I've sensed them, seen them, done all that. I've got 15 plus years of experience, you know. I've been there. I haven't always been an investigator on YouTube. I've done this off YouTube as well. When I was younger, I used to really think I could see, I guess, demons. I believe I've seen them and I believe I've felt them. And I've seen ghosts as well. So yeah, that's the spirit box. What we have here is a voice recorder. Now this thing is made to pick up EVPs. Well, actually it's made to pick up your voice and you take down monologues of what you're going to say at a meeting or something, really. But in the paranormal world, this is made to pick up EVPs. Now, I assume a lot of you know what an EVP is already. This has been all over the internet forever, so the paranormal in general, I mean. This little thing can pick up electronic voice phenomena. That's what EVP stands for, electronic voice phenomena. And so what it does is you record, place it down and ask, is there a spirit here? Can you say hello or speak into this device? You let it record for a minute, maybe a bit less. Stop it, listen back. And because they're so sensitive, that's why they're used in the paranormal field. They can pick up any little noise, any little scratch on the table, anything like that. And that is also how people fake it, by the way. They'll do a little scratch on the table and pretend that it's a voice or something that they're hearing. And then they'll convince you that, that's what they're hearing and that's what's coming through. But here on Crimson Angel, we don't do bullshit like that. Not at all. We take down the fakers by showing the real stuff that you don't need to fake it. So that's what this is for. Alright, here I have a REM pod. Now, it might not look like the REM pods that you're used to. You're probably used to seeing the round ones with the red on top with the one antenna. Like the cylinder. They're pretty big. This, it does exactly the same thing. As you can see, if I do this, so pull the antennas out, turn it on, and if you get close to it, oh, it needs to calm down a minute. Right, if you get close to it, it breaks the field. There's a field around these antennas. And if you get close to it, or touch it, it makes an annoying ass noise. And that is the only way that it can be set off, as far as I know. Something has to break the field that is generated out of these little antennas. So, how do we use this in the paranormal field? Well, what we do, just place it down, open the antennas out, and ask for something to touch it, or move by it, walk past it. Or they might just walk past it without realizing it's there. And if they do, it will break the field. Now, how does it break the field? Spirits aren't solid, are they? They're made of what was it called? Electromagnetic activity. Electromagnetic. Wow, I really can't. EVP, not EVP, EMP. Oh, it's on here somewhere. EMF, electromagnetic field. There we go. Got there in the end. So yeah, because they're made of electricity and they can affect electronics. These electronic devices, you notice that everything that paranormal investigators use is electronic, because they're electronic too. So they can interact with things that use electricity. So therefore, that's why we use it. I don't know who came up with it, they made a pardon me of that, but that's what I've heard, and that's the information I've been given. So, so that's basically what we know. Okay, so. Right, this is the EM pump, electromagnetic pump, and as I just spoke about, spirits are made of electricity, and if they don't have enough of it, enough energy in general, they might not be able to communicate, they might not be able to interact with anything. So we have this EM pump here, and when it's turned on, it vibrates, and a little motor is going off in there, and it's pumping out EMF. Electromagnetic frequencies, yeah, fields, electromagnetic fields, sorry. And what that does is, in theory, it would give the spirit or paranormal entity more energy to communicate with us via the spirit box, or be able to show themselves as something on the camera. So, yeah, that's good. I'll show you something else so I can prove to you what it does. Here's two EMF meters, electromagnetic field meters, and what these things do is they light up. Yeah, and if there's any EMF around you, they will light up, and depending on how strong the EMF is, it will go up to whichever light. Depending on how strong it is. Green being the lowest, and red being the highest. So, sorry for that weird little cut there, but I wanted to show you what it does with the EMF meter, EM pump. So, here is what an EMF meter does next to an EM pump. As you can see, it's lighting up. That's because it is detecting EMF. So, I keep looking up there, there's a wasp trying to get in. So that is detecting EMF right now. And what these are used for, these EMF meters, is you can put them down somewhere or hold them out and ask a spirit to communicate with you through this. And the way that a spirit would do that is if they would come towards you and they would touch it, just like the REM pod, and they would touch it, and the lights will go off. Now, how can we decide that that's something intelligent doing that? Well, there is, I think there's only one real way, I think, anyway, is you would basically ask them to go up to a certain light, or, oh, there's two ways. You let them go up to a certain light and tell them to do that light for yes or for no. Or it could just be going off randomly, and you could ask them to stop, and it just stops, or ask them to go, and it goes when you've asked. I know that this doesn't really prove that it's a spirit, but none of this really does. It's down to personal opinion, isn't it? And beliefs. But as I said before, I believe it. I know it. You know, so no one can convince me otherwise that it's not a ghost or a spirit or a demon or an angel even. That's just what I believe. So, that's an EMF meter. What they are for is the same as the spirit box. But the difference is these aren't hacked. These are literally just radios. And the way that you will use these is, as you can see, the little tuning knob. You can tune it back and forth anytime through any radio station yourself. And whereas the this spirit box here scans through it hacked really quickly, this you can choose yourself how fast you want it to go through stations. Now, the reason you want to do that is through, I guess, the rules of a Ouija board, for instance. You know at a Ouija board you feel where it wants to go, it goes to that letter, and so forth. Well, you do the same thing with these, except it's not a Ouija board, it's a tuner. So you feel how fast or slow the spirits may want to go with you, and how they want to talk through the channels. And these are actually more successful, I've found, than the hacked radio, the spirit box itself, in a lot of my investigations. So I get a lot more words come through this, like intelligent responses through these, than I do a regular spirit box. The Phasma camera with the infrared light. Now the Phasma camera is literally just a camera, but what it can do is it's got full spectrum built into it, and it's very, very high quality. It will see pretty much anything in the spectrum or in the shot as it goes by. Might pick up a lot of dust, might pick up a lot of spirit orb. You don't know, do you? So yeah, this is just a handy little camera to have around. I'll tell you something that I don't like about this, right? Because it's full spectrum, it doesn't show that you're wearing black, it shows that you're wearing white. And because it's got like a wide or fisheye type lens, it makes you look shorter and fatter than you really are on the camera. So that really sucks. But overall, it is a really, really good little camera. Really good. And the only problem is the battery life doesn't last very long. So thankfully, we've got a power pack in there that we can attach to it. And I've got a really, really good SIM card, so I might be able to do some really long investigations with this camera. So that will be good. I'm looking forward to doing that, actually. It does have its downsides when it comes to fashion. But yeah, either way, it's good for capturing spirits, I'll tell you that much. We have a bit of a controversial one, if the others weren't controversial enough. So these are the bent ones I've picked up. These are, what are they called? Dowsing rods, that's it. Dowsing rods. Now, the way that you use these, usually, is you ask if a spirit is around, or if you're back in old-timey times, you're using to try and find water. But in these times, we use them to communicate with spirits. And the way that we do that is we ask them to either cross them like this for yes, and bring them out like this for no, or the other way around, depending on who you are. Now the problem is you can, if your hands aren't that steady, they can move too much. And also people can move their hands very slightly deliberately to make you think that there is a spirit with you. Ooh. Is God here? Yeah. But no, seriously though, I think my hands are steady enough, and you got to make sure not to touch the bottoms. Don't touch the bottoms, because that can stop them from moving properly as well. Got to be very, very steady, just like that. As long as I've got something to lean on, I'm okay. When I'm like that, it can be a bit iffy. But overall, I'm okay at the moment. I'm surprised. I won't be using the bent one. I've got 2 new ones in there. I don't know why I picked these ones out. But yeah, they're dowsing rods. So we're going on more onto the quote-unquote demon huntery side now. And in order to do that in reality, you need some sort of religious things with you, and some sort of religious knowledge of God and Jesus and the angels and all this stuff. At least here in England anyway, you probably need to have knowledge of other religious symbols and all that in order to affect demons in other countries. But here, obviously, because it's a very Christian country, things like crosses will probably work better. So I've got Archangel Michael here, which I did learn a long time ago that he is actually my personal guardian angel. I say my personal, I'm pretty sure he's a guardian angel to a lot of people. But he definitely made it known that he will look after me when I'm doing my investigations and when I'm trying to banish evil spirits away from me or away from an area. Now this is the prayer of protection that he offers. Saint Michael the Archangel, defend us in battle. Be our protection against the wickedness and snares of the devil. May God rebuke him, we humbly pray. And do thou, O Prince of the heavenly host, by the power of God, thrust into hell Satan and all evil spirits who wander through the world for the ruin of souls. Amen. You should probably get used to that, especially in my investigation videos. I'll be saying that pretty much at the start of every investigation or the start of every spirit box, just to make sure that anything bad doesn't come through. And I have this just to tell them to get back. Now I heard that, you have to be very devout and very, very into the religion as such to be able to do it, but I don't think so, because I can really use my lighter side, and I believe in the light and the goodness and my willpower when I need to, and I do believe that it does work. It does work for almost anybody, as long as they're a good, righteous person, a decent person, And I've never had it fail, and I've never been possessed. I don't think I've ever been made ill by an evil spirit since I've been doing that, so that's good. But yeah, alright. His cat balls. Now, I am not sure about these things, I'm really not. You turn them on, you place them down, wait for them to settle a bit. Now, if there's a spirit nearby, obviously, it's like the EMF meters, it's like the REM pod. You try and get them to touch them to make them go off. If I do that, well, you have to do it fairly hard, and that's only one going off. Oh, is this one dead? Oh no, this one's working. Okay. So they can be interacted with. If they're touched, they do go off. They're not as sensitive as I thought. At least these ones aren't. And you put them down somewhere, maybe on one or the other side of the room, and you ask a spirit to touch it or move near it to make it go off. And of course, if the ground isn't solid, you can accidentally set it off yourself if you're walking by. One second, I just need some water. So I don't know whether to rely on these things that much. I guess if you're in an area where there's hardly any traffic around, or you're not moving either, and they go off and they're on like a solid concrete floor, maybe that's something. Maybe. We'll see. How long are we going for here? I'm not sure. The time is wrong. It's weird. But yeah, okay. They're the cat balls. Right. I don't have them with me right now. But what I'm going to be getting, and this is where I get a little bit unorthodox and a bit in the realm of maybe fantasy. But I'm willing to give things a try. And I like to be a bit out there and over the top. So you see these things that I just flashed up on the screen. These are water pistols, or really strong water pistols, as you can see. It's supposed to be some of the strongest pistols you can get. There's obviously super soakers that go for like a few meters, but these ones will do just fine. And what I'm going to do is I want to fill them up with, get some holy water, fill them up with the holy water, and take them out with me on here, on my hips, with some holsters. You know, I'm going to be going a bit out there with it. And if you've read on my page, I'm very much into Devil May Cry, the video game, and I want to see if I can actually do that. Shoot the demons as such if they're actually in there. If I can get enough evidence that they're actually there, trying to cause havoc to the spirits there or the people, and just spray it around, tell the demons to get lost. It might work, it might not. If it's holy water, then why wouldn't it work? Even if it's through a water pistol, If you've got the willpower, if you think you could do the right thing, and you're calling down the angels, why wouldn't it work? And on to the next thing. Here's the next thing. Meditation. Now, I am a big practicer of spirituality and realigning your energies through your body. And the main thing that's been keeping me at this is because of my belief in the paranormal. And if you're talking to spirits, you need to be open to it. You need to be spiritual yourself. Otherwise, it's not going to happen. It's very, very important to keep your mind focused on your goal and focused on communicating with them rather than having it go off anywhere else during. The spirits will think you're weak. If it's a bad spirit, they'll take advantage of you if you have a weak mind. You've seen people get emotional on, on investigations, claim they're possessed, start crying, get scared out of their minds. You know why I think that is? Because they don't practice focusing their energy. They don't build a wall up to keep things out. They just go into it thinking all they need is a bit of electronic equipment. And that's not always the case. You need to be prepared in your brain, in your mind, in your energy, in your aura. And that is one of the most important things you can ever do. This is the most important piece of equipment you will need in order to look for spirits. Unless you want to get proof of it out there with some physical equipment, you can't just turn around and go to someone and go, "Oh, I feel a spirit, I saw a spirit," because no one's going to believe you. Not that anyone believes you anyway, unless you believe it yourself. Trying to convince a skeptic these days is almost impossible. That's why I pretty much do this for myself now, and the spirit's not for you guys. You guys can come along. If you enjoy it, that's great. But if it's just you, and you go out one day and you see a shadow person or feel like something touched you, that's good. That you're experiencing the paranormal right there. That's all you need. You don't need nothing else. That's all. And this is why it's good to keep your spiritual side in check. No one seems to get that these days. At all. I've been doing this for quite a while, and I've learnt that. Right, the last thing. Last thing you need, knowledge, or a good teacher. I have had some of the best teachers in the paranormal field, from the truthful paranormal field, in the last 15 or so years ago. Maybe a bit less than that. Because I was doing my own thing for a while before I did YouTube. Then I went onto YouTube so it must have been like, I don't know, 10, 11 years ago maybe, that I met these people. And these people are Zara Hilton of Paranormal White Noise, Glenn Miller of, oh my god, I'm sorry Glenn, I've forgotten your old channel name. Oh, North Nottingham, that's it, North Nottingham Paranormal. Mortis the Wizard, Shannon, he was amazing, he taught me a lot. these three people taught me a lot. And I think Charlotte Rigby, before then, actually got me talking to people in the field at first. So thank you, Charlotte, for that. So these people all combined, and then me taking that knowledge and doing what I do, has propelled me to where I am today. And you know, and this is the important thing you need. You need knowledge. Knowledge is very important. You can't go around saying everything's paranormal, because it's not. You need to be able to critically think and be able to decipher what is what. Go look at what it is. If there's no good explanation, then maybe it is a ghost, you know. But until then, you can't say everything's a ghost. There's no way. No, you can't say that. Sorry, I was looking at another wasp. I really should have closed the windows before I did this. So yeah, you need knowledge. You need to know how to use these things. You need to know what is radio, because sometimes you can hear what is just radio in the spirit box and what is spirit voice. And by doing that, you need to know what the intelligent response is. It needs to be in response to you. Otherwise, it could just be radio. And that's just like the people talking on the radio. It needs to be relevant to what you're saying, basically. So yeah, knowledge. Okay. So I think with that, that pretty much covers the equipment and everything you need to do it side of things. And this is how I do it, and this is how I understand it. So, yeah. I think that is good enough. I was going to do a... Oh, hold on. No, I can do a spirit box session, can't I? Alright, let's go do that now. Alright, so I was going to use the 12587, but I remembered it was very quiet, and I'm not in a position to plug in any speakers right now. But we do have this Roberts radio, which we can try and use. I think we can do this for about, I don't know, 10 minutes, maybe less. I might write down what I heard, I might not, we'll see. So let's see if anybody's here with us right now, shall we? You'll see how I open up a session as well. Oh, okay. Hello, spirits. This is Davey Wood of Crimson Angel Paranormal, or you might know me as Crimson Angel himself. I am just starting to come back to speak with you again properly now, and I hope you guys can understand that I am actually doing it this time and I'm not going to be leaving it. So I'm welcoming the spirits, good spirits, to come in, spirit guides, anybody that wishes to speak, to come through and say hello, and maybe share some thoughts on what you may think of me coming back doing this with it for everybody. And if you want to do it yourself, if you want to speak. So here we go. Hello, is anybody here?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hello, my friends. How are you doing today?
Yeah.
Well. Thought I heard well in there. It's good to have you. Thank you very much for coming through and speaking right away. I did not expect that. Who is here with me today? Can you say a name? Did you just say it's Paul? I thought I heard it's Paul, but I don't think they're confirming that it was. You guys will hear it. So spirits, I'd like to ask, are any of my spirit guides with me right now? Yes or no? Did you just say Hannah? If you said Hannah, Hannah is one of my old spirit guides' names. If you said Hannah, can you say it again, please, if you're here? Okay, well, maybe, maybe not. Okay, spirits. So as you're aware, I'm coming back. I'm doing this full time now. I'm not stopping. What do you think of that? Okay, spirits. If you're really here, I'm not doubting you. I just, I want to hear. Can you say the name of my paranormal group or who I am? CA. Who am I?
Eve.
I'll help you out. It's Crimson Angel Paranormal. Can you say Crimson Angel for me? Alright, I appreciate it if you tried, but I'm quite sure I heard one of them say why. So, they don't have to. You guys don't have to, it's fine. Let's see if they can recommend anywhere to go, shall we? So, can you guys recommend me anywhere to go to speak to spirits? Okay. Spirits, what's it like over there in the other side at the moment? I mean, can you see me right now? Sound like I go away. Why are you telling me to go away, Spirit? Are you okay? Okay. My name is Davy. Can you say my name, Davy? So I know that you're here. Is there anybody here from my family?
You.
Spirits, if you can pick up on my energy, is there anything you can sense about it? Alright, you know this street that we live on? Are any of these houses haunted? Would you say it's haunted? Are the spirits about? Okay, spirits, I'm going to be going soon. I'm not sure if you're very chatty at the moment. I'll ask you one last question. I'm sorry it's about me, but I need to know this. What side do you think I'm more on? The light or the darker side? What would you say? I'll ask about you. Am I speaking with the dead right now? If you are the dead, can you say dead for me, please? Okay, well, I'll admit, Spirits, I wasn't very prepared to what to ask you today. I just wanted to show how I use the spirit box. So I'm probably going to leave now. I'm going to let you say whatever you need to say for a minute or so. And then I'll go, okay? Alright, I'm going to go now, Spirits. Goodbye. You have to go back now. Thank you very much for talking with me, but you have to go back. Thank you. Goodbye. Alright, session is now over. Thank you for talking, but you have to go. Yeah, well, I heard a few voices in there that didn't sound like just radio stations. Some of them I thought were intelligent, some of them weren't really to do with what we're talking about. But I believe there was some there. I've not done it in quite a while, so I'll need to get back into practice. But I think with that is the end of this video. So I really appreciate you guys watching. This may end up on YouTube, it may end up on Facebook. It's going to be on Facebook for sure. I don't know if I'll ever put it on YouTube again at any point in the future, but who knows. But for now, it's happy on my page, I think. I'm happy with it on my page. So if you really enjoyed it, feel free to share it to other paranormal groups or just to your personal profile. Leave a like and let me know what you thought. So as always, this has been Crimson Angel, and you all better take care.